Yeah. Kylie, check out this hat.
That is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire.
I got
that
it
wasn't
at
there when I was
Disneyland.
there.
Well, sucks. I got it from the D23expo.com, 2019, baby. These were extras that they had, I guess, so they sold them in the park. But it says Disneyland on it.
Dude, you're totally just like 2019, baby.
D23 Expo.
I also got an Avengers campus hat, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, cute. Did you love the Avengers campus?
We'll get there when we get there.
Oh, I forgot. That can be part of the plan.
Yeah. We need to go ahead and get started.
Okay,
Yes, we do. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Goofy Scoop. It's Gray, and of course, I'm joined with your boy, Jeff French. How's it going, Jeff?
It's going good.
Good to see you. Good to see you. We also have a lovely guest with us today. One of our very best friends from our Disney College program in the fall of 2019. It is Kiley Barber. What's up, Kiley?
Hey.
I'm so glad we're all here. This has been an episode in the making for a long time. And tonight is when we spill all the tea, my friends. This is an episode. Disneyland versus Disney World. Can you even compare them? We're not really sure, but it's coming today. So I don't know where we want to start. Kiley, we know that you love Disneyland. We know that you love Disney World. Jeff has never been to Disneyland, so he's going to learn You have been to Disneyland?
One time, junior year of high school. So technically happened many months ago.
He doesn't count. that doesn't count.
Well, I just got back from Disney. I was at Disneyland last week, so I know everything going on at Disneyland. It's been a while since I've been to Disney World, but I'm ready to dish. I'm ready to go. So Kiley, why don't we just get started off talking about your favorite things in Disneyland and why you think it's better than Disney World. Actually, let's not. Let's just start with Disneyland, talk about the great things of Disneyland, and then we'll just kind of go into it from there.
Hold on, Gray, real quick. Sorry, Kiley. Before we even get started with that, Kiley worked with us on the DCP, so she has to get a little bit of her background story.
It's true.
Like where she worked and all that. So
You're right.
All right. Well, I worked with Jeff at Oscar's Super Service most of the time, so we were wrangling some wheelchairs all day and all night. I also worked in a lot of the stores on Hollywood Boulevard, just registers and stocking and whatnot. But usually I was at Oscar's, which was super fun. Yeah, I loved my location. I loved the program. I made amazing friends.
Obviously.
Yeah. So
I
had a great time.
All right, now let's get to the beef between Disneyland and Disney World. I was like I told you earlier, I was gonna study up a little bit on Disneyland, kind of see what was new because I haven't been there. Let's just say 10 years. That's probably pretty accurate. So I'm not up to date, but Gray, like you said, you went a week ago. Kiley, she goes all the time because she's just on that side, just like AJ is. So I'm all ears. I'm curious.
Great. That sounds awesome. I really enjoyed my trip to Disneyland. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Really enjoyed my trip to Disneyland. Also, I'm just gonna tell Kiley this in advance. I love you. No hard feelings if we don't agree on something happening. So
this may get intense because I have a strong connection to Disneyland. It is very nostalgic for me, and I will defend it until the end.
Okay, so let me ask you: was Disneyland your first Disney park? Was that the first place you ever went?
Yes. So my family started going there when I was 2 years old, and we went basically every single year after that. That was our thing to do. We went there every year. We rode every single ride every time. Like, we went hard. So I know the ins and outs of Disneyland. Yeah, it's just super nostalgic for me. And I think that's a big reason why I think that it is the better park or the better resort than Disney World. But I know that a lot of people don't agree with that. So I'm ready to talk about it, cough, cough, Gray. Because I know you're about to try to
Okay, so
out of it.
Okay, so you said that you've gone to Disneyland basically ever since you were 2, right? So when was your first trip to Disney World?
So the first time I ever went to Disney World was for my college program, which was fall of 2019. So I had
What?
never been there.
Wow.
Yep, I'd never been there before I started working there. So it's interesting. I grew up going to Disneyland, like 20 years of going to Disneyland.
Okay, I didn't know that at all. I thought that you've been a couple times before our Disney, like our college program. That actually kind of like surprised me just then.
Really? Yeah, no, I'd never been. So, I mean, I got to know it pretty well since I was living there for 6 months, but I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, Kiley, I just want you to go in. I know you said it was nostalgic, but like where are you? You go to Disneyland. What are the first things you want to do? You go to Disney World and you're missing something, obviously, if you think Disneyland's better. So like, what are you missing? What are those pieces that you want to see every time you walk into the park like you do at Disneyland?
Do you want me to start you off with an easy one that you might agree with or a controversial one?
Start where you want to start. I got plenty of tea to spill.
This is this is gonna be a chess game tonight.
I'm gonna give one that you guys might be like, okay, that makes sense. And that is It's a Small World is better in Disneyland than in Disney World. And that's because it has this huge, extravagant exterior to it versus Disney World. It's like tucked in a little building, and the ride already isn't the best ride, as many people would say. And so just having that front on it in Disneyland really adds to the experience, I think.
Okay, that is a great point. I love that so much. You're already wrong, and here's why. So Disneyland, It's a Small World starts outdoors, and part of the reason it doesn't start outdoors in Florida is because it rains so much. That's just like how it is. The weather in California is just like more sunny, so that's just open for things. That's just like location. Okay, great, wonderful. Walt Disney World has the exact same opening that Disneyland does, except it's inside of a building. They're the exact same. Other than that,
no,
the opening is the same.
It does not have the same effect. You're literally like, you walk into this tiny little building and it looks like it's like cardboard set up on the wall that's trying to.
And that is what is set up. That's the same thing that's set up at Disneyland.
No, the one at Disney World's a lot smaller, isn't it?
Yeah, it's way smaller, and it's not its own building. It's in that building with the Pinocchio's Village House or whatever that restaurant is. It's
okay. You're right.
With other things.
Okay,
in Disneyland, you turn around the corner and it's just like, okay, it's a small world right there. Boom. It lights up at night. It's beautiful.
It's true. It is really, really pretty at night. That is true. That's a good point.
Yeah. I know,
also, another point for Disneyland, because we'll go ahead and give them all the points they can get before the end of this. Disneyland with It's a Small World. It's really pretty at night. It stands alone. The ride is longer than at Disney World. It's longer. The only part that I'm not a huge fan of is like, I know it's the original, so like that's great, and they've added stuff to it. In Disneyland, they have Disney characters singing "It's a Small World" like within the ride, which I think is really cool to see the actual characters like in their native land, singing in their native languages, that kind of thing. Very cool.
Yeah.
Disneyland is a moat, whereas Disney World, everything is covered in water. And I don't like that effect of it. I like being in a boat and it's like you don't really know where you're going next. I mean, you can see the track if you're like looking for it, but like you're like everything's covered in water and everything's kind of like in a surrounding thing. Whereas in Disneyland, because of the way it was built originally, it's like a moat and you just follow this moat and you can see exactly what's happening next, which like isn't fun to me.
I think that's a personal preference. Honestly, great personal preference right there, because I think it's cute.
I'm pretty sure this entire podcast is like personal opinions, but like here we are.
I'm about to go get a Coke and some popcorn.
I think Jeff should vote on which one he thinks is better from our description.
From what I remember
we'll get
as
there.
well.
We'll get there at the end. Jeff's gonna say Disney World is better, but just keep going, Kylie. Keep going. Give us some more points.
We'll move on to another one. I think this is another one that you guys might agree with because I've heard that you guys talk about it a lot, and that is Autopia versus Tomorrowland Speedway. Because those are pretty much the same ride, but you know, they're the different park versions.
One's 87 and one's 91 fuel.
I will say I did not get a chance to ride Autopia. All I know is that it's a similar ride, and so I can't really argue anything about that. But I do know at Disney World, Tomorrowland Speedway sucks, and so if it's the same ride at Disneyland, they should both disappear. But that's just my opinion.
It's not the same ride.
Is Autotopia, is it still gas or is it electric?
Jeff, it's Autopia. Obviously, you haven't been to Disneyland.
It's been so long. I don't know if they switched it. I don't know if they switched it.
Sorry, what was your question?
She's too worried about the roast now. She's on defense mode.
Is it gas or electric?
Because
I think it's electric because I don't remember ever breathing in disgusting like gasoline.
I was about to say, because I'd be very surprised if it was still gas in California, but I don't remember.
I don't think it is. I never remember going on that and being like, oh my gosh, I cannot breathe. I cannot go on this ride.
So I say there's really only one thing that I remember, but we'll get there when we get there.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I just think Autopia, you know, you go on like kind of an off-road track almost, and there's a lot more space between the cars. You don't have as much interaction with other guests that are on the ride. And so it's just a lot better, and I don't think that one's really hard to argue with. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
As I say, we do talk about
that makes sense.
Speedway a lot. I don't know why, because we hate it, but my vote's going to go towards Autotopia just with how Kylie described it.
If you call it Autotopia one more time.
What is it?
I'm kicking you off your own
Autopia.
Autopia.
Oh man, we need to move on before he messes it up.
All right, Kylie, let's move on to the main attraction here, the castle. Let's talk about the castle.
Oh my gosh.
Let's discuss it.
Okay.
First of all, Cinderella's castle. What a dang beautiful girl. In Disney World, beautiful, a queen. Sleeping Beauty's castle in Disneyland, also beautiful. Would not call her a queen. And here's why. When you go to Disney World, you walk onto Main Street, you look down Main Street, and you're like, holy cow, look at this giant castle. That is amazing. You go to Disneyland, you're like, Main Street, that's a cool castle. Okay. And then you keep going because the castle's like this big. It's like this big.
The castle is about the same size as a nice house.
Yeah, you just like to me, it doesn't draw your eye the same way that Cinderella's castle at Disneyland does, or at Disney World does. So point for Disney World.
Okay, no, let me at least try to argue it a little bit. I think when it comes to Main Street and the castle between the parks, it really depends on what kind of guest you are. Because to me, I love the idea of walking down Main Street in Disneyland because Walt Disney walked down it many times, and it just has that historical factor to it. And so if you're a guest who, you know, is really into maybe like the history of Disney or whatever, really loves Walt Disney, I think that you might be more connected to Disneyland versus Disney World just being, you know, that next project that Walt Disney didn't have as much time with. So,
Kylie literally pulled the Walt card.
I did. I had to.
I'm going to be honest. I knew the Walt card was coming. And do I have a book of things to go against it? Yes, I do. But I'm just like to say, Walt Disney loved Disneyland. He created it, obviously. And in the time that it was made, it was like very impressive. The castle was like great for the time they had, the money they had to build it, like so amazing. And I know that like Disney World was very well planned out, like a lot better because they had done Disneyland before. And so there are things that Disney World's just going to do better because they had done Disneyland in the past. Like that's just how it is. The layout of things, the way they build things, how much money goes to where, all that kind of stuff. But like in this conversation and what we're talking about, to me, I'm looking at Disneyland, Disney World, comparing the two as they are. And I will say, I know it's hard to do that because they are completely different parks. And so I don't want people commenting like they're completely different. Like you can't even compare them. Like, I get that. Like, one is in the middle of a city, one's in the middle of nowhere. One has 5 million parks, one has 2 that are across the street from each other. Like, it's very hard to compare the two, but I'm just like simply looking at the two places. This is why I think one is better than the other. So like that, and like Walt Disney had a chance to be at Disneyland because he wasn't dead yet. Like, is that an argument? Kind of, but also like, that's not even fair. Like, I'm sorry, he died. Like, come on.
R.I.P. Walt.
But yeah, may he rest in
true.
peace. But with that, I will say, walking down Main Street in Disneyland, especially in front of the firehouse, I did get a lot more of like a nostalgic, like, thank you, Walt Disney, for everything you created while you were alive type of thing, more than I do at Disney World.
Yeah, because of his office.
Definitely do get that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I understand that point.
Okay. Yeah. And I understand your point too. We can be cordial on this one.
Love it. Love to hear
now,
it.
Now I'm ready to roast you again because I have a good one.
All right. Let's do it. Here's the next thing I want to discuss.
I had a topic, but it's okay.
No, it's fine. The thing that I was really into before my trip to Disneyland was like, we did everything, California Adventure and Disneyland and Downtown Disney all in one day. Like we smashed everything into one day. It was expensive. That's just what we did. So as we were getting ready for our trip, I was looking at wait times. I was looking at like parking. I was like everything. I was trying to figure out everything while we were going. And one of the things that I was really curious into was wait times. And we went on a Thursday, so wait times were a lot lower than they would be like on a weekend. And all the wait times, like 30 minutes or less. Like, it was fantastic. But one of the things that felt really weird is wait times were low. We never waited in line for very long. Like less than an hour, it wasn't bad. But the lines were ridiculous. Like, they were like Pirates of the Caribbean. We're not talking about that ride yet. We're not talking about, but just the queue line itself, because Disneyland was meant for like not 5 million people. The queue lines are just like, here's the ride. 10 feet down is where the queue line starts. And then the rest of the queue line goes like into the pathway of where people are supposed to be walking down the street. Like, there was no one at Disneyland when we were there. It felt so cramped.
Did they did they have COVID markers?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that might have spaced them out as well, because I know at Disney.
No.
Okay.
In the queue lines, there's not.
Okay. I was there at the end of August, and I don't remember there being any COVID.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Everybody was like smashed together.
At first, like when I went in November of 20, I think that was the first time I went ever since COVID started. There was like markers. So, everybody would fit into the Pirates queue before COVID. Next thing you know, the end of the line is where Jungle Cruise starts.
Yeah.
Just because of the COVID markers. So I didn't know if there's maybe COVID markers to make those lines really bad.
No. I think it's simply because Disneyland was not built for like 1 billion people. Like, Disney World planned a lot better for the queue lines. But like, I was just very uncomfortable walking through there because there were so many people and I was just trying to walk through. But there was a queue line for Pirates and a queue line for Haunted Mansion that just ran into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like because there wasn't enough space.
Honestly, I totally agree with that. I think it just comes down to the fact that it wasn't built for as many people as Disney World was, and it's just they're just working with what they have. We got to give them some credit for figuring it out, getting everyone in line and on the ride.
And I feel like
I have to agree with that.
I feel like majority of park goers when it comes to Disneyland are annual pass holders. I feel like there's not a whole lot of people that go visit Disneyland as much as Disney World for sure. So I feel like Disneyland is almost like a a pass holder's dream in a sense.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot of pass holders.
I definitely would see Disneyland more as a locals park, whereas Disney World is a like vacation destination.
Got that right.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
I'll say
Anyway, Kylie, I think it's your turn to.
Kylie had one.
Can we talk about Space Mountain? Because
Let's do it.
Disneyland Space Mountain is exponentially better than Disney World.
Incorrect.
That I agree with.
Wait, great. Did you say incorrect or correct?
Just keep going. We'll discuss it.
I'll start off with an easy argument. Disney World Space Mountain is a little rough. There's only, I guess, 6 people per train, and you sit a single line of people,
which I hate.
Yeah.
Disneyland is you sit side by side, and there's 12 people per car. I don't know, something like that. But it's a lot smoother, just because the car's bigger. They can get more people into one car. Also, it's darker inside the ride. I will just say that. And so I think the overall experience of Space Mountain at Disneyland is more enjoyable than Disney World.
I agree with Kylie on this one.
Okay, well, you're both wrong. And here's why.
Oh my God.
Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid?
I should be getting paid
by Disney World right
now. Okay. Let's start with the queue line. I'm gonna give it to Disneyland.
What is with you in the queue line?
No.
Queue lines really matter though.
No,
Look,
you're right.
They're part of the story. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Queue lines at Disneyland for Space Mountain specifically, but also a few other ones. I will give it to Disneyland. Theming 10,000 times better. I feel like I'm in a spaceship. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna get in this rocket and shoot out into outer space from the spaceship. That's what I feel like when I'm in Disneyland. Also in Disneyland, I feel like I am so cramped and claustrophobic that I'm gonna die. Because the hallways.
You don't feel like that in Disney World, where they have the weird graphics in the windows and stuff. That makes me want to throw
where you
up.
can't walk straight.
No,
it's like drunk goggles.
That hallway is wider than the ones at Disneyland. The ones at Disneyland, if you weigh more than 20 pounds, your shoulders are hitting the walls. Okay, that if you're not a child, you're running into the walls on both sides walking down it. You got to walk down it sideways, just like this, with your hands up.
Tiny child.
You got to walk down it sideways.
I think that's a little excessive, but okay.
I'm sure it is.
Now, under 3 years old, you are fine. If you're over 3 years old, you are not fine. You will be shoulder to shoulder.
That's exactly right.
20 pounds.
When it comes to the ride, it is darker. Amen. It does seat more people. Amen. That's it. They
have 2 loading stations, right? Or no?
So does Disney World.
But do they have 2 loading stations? I don't remember.
It's not like 2 sides.
Yeah, there's A and B.
Okay.
At Disneyland, it's like you load 2 cars at once, but you come in from the same side. They just load them together and then kind of send them off together on the same track.
Oh,
that's true.
Going to different tracks.
Yeah, because Disney World has Alpha and Omega or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's Alpha and Omega. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if Disneyland loaded 1 at a time and Disney World loaded 2 at a time, because that is the same people, but I didn't remember.
Yeah, it's the same
layout.
But even so, you can get more people into the cars in Disneyland because they're just bigger.
That's
so
true.
It goes even quicker, honestly.
Yep.
I also have a soft spot with Space Mountain in Disneyland because that's the first time I ever saw a celebrity, by the way. Jack Black.
No way.
Yeah, super cool. I remember talking to my dad. I don't remember where my mom and my sister were. They were doing something else. But my dad and I decided to ride Space Mountain again. And all of a sudden, you just kind of hear through the crowds like, Jack Black, Jack Black. Like, oh my God, there's Jack Black. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, Jack Black. And I looked and he was getting in. And this was around the time of School of Rock. So he still had the longer hair, you know?
Oh my
and
God.
He's turned around. He's like, yeah. Sits down and does this. Oh, where's the screen? There it is.
No way.
Right there. And I was just like, my day's made. I was like, we're riding Space Mountain.
Kylie, do you realize that we're talking to a celebrity right now? We're talking to a man who has seen Jack Black from afar.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, calm down. Calm down.
Holy
We love you, Jeff.
Guys, do you realize how many celebrities we were around when we worked at Disney World?
100%.
Yeah.
Guess how many
So
I
many.
saw? 0.
One. I saw one.
I was about to say, my sister has seen Chris Evans. My sister has seen, I think, Ariana Grande. She says that she's kind of mean, not to put her on blast on here, but
Heard that.
yeah.
Yikes.
And then who's the guy from SNL? Pete Davidson, I think. She just unloaded him off of Space Mountain a month or two ago, I think. And then during our time at Hollywood Studios, Kiley, Neil Patrick Harris was there.
That's the guy I saw. I saw him.
He was there during our time with Galaxy's Edge and everything. And then pretty sure the Kardashians were there in the spring. I didn't see
The
them.
Jonas Brothers came before Galaxy's Edge opened to the public.
Okay, you know who else was there? Josh Gad. He surprised the guests in the Frozen show. I was planning on going to the show that he surprised in that, but I did laundry instead and I didn't go. And I beat myself up to this day about it because I did laundry instead of seeing Josh Gad.
I met the girl Samantha, who he took a picture with and posted on his Instagram story. She worked at Flight of Passage, and I met her, and I was like,
That counts as a celebrity.
I'm famous.
Samantha?
Yeah, I met her. It was so fun. Anyway, I really just want to jump back to Space Mountain because I wasn't done telling you how wrong you were. So Space Mountain, we are not yet on the ride. So we're loading. We're on the ride.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten on the ride.
Nice. We get on the ride. Let's see. What are the things that you're looking for in a classic Space Mountain? Dark ride. Disneyland's got it. What else? So you're wanting like a big drop that just gives you some adrenaline. Here's the thing. Disneyland's track, you go and you drop 2 inches and you go and you drop 2 inches and you go and you drop 2 inches and you go and drop 2 inches. You don't, there's like one drop in it. There's not like a good like the one at Disney World has like a really good drop. And I'm telling you, the one at Disneyland, I felt it the whole time. Straight 2 inches, straight 2 inches, straight 2 inches. You just keep dropping like tiny bit by tiny bit. Kiley, I'm not done. And when I think of Space Mountain, the main part of Space Mountain that I want every single time you get on Space Mountain, you're sitting there and you're riding, you're having so much fun, and then you get into the whirligig and you're like, they don't have that in Disneyland.
That was pretty good.
Thank you so much. There is no whirligig in Space Mountain at Disneyland, and that is awful.
It's at the beginning. Before you get into the dark part, you go through that super sick tunnel and it's lighting up and it's like
no. I'm not talking about the tunnel. No. I'm talking about the
at the very where you're spinning in circles slowly going.
Yes, when you go around the track in a circle.
That drives me nuts because I like it. I'm weird because I listen to ASMR sometimes every day. But but it drives me nuts how it doesn't follow but spin just a little bit faster with the cart. It goes the opposite direction and it's just a little bit too fast. I think maybe
the sound, is that what you're talking about? The sound
slower too fast, but it's just like whoa, and I'm just like, I haven't even made a full circle yet, and you're already going.
Okay, no.
You know what I mean?
It's still my favorite part. Like when you go and the sound is it's my favorite part.
I can't even focus on the conversation right now because of your whoa noises.
Guess what ride, guys? Whoa.
Next podcast episode.
Oh my god, that's actually not a bad idea.
That's a great idea. Okay. So then you're on the ride. You don't get the whoa. Then you get off the ride. You're back on the spaceship, the exact same spaceship that you just came from. You didn't take a rocket somewhere else. The end of the queue is the exact same as the beginning of the queue. In Disney World, at least you shoot a rocket to somewhere else. You're not just like going to the exact same place.
It's like a very awkward place in Disney World too, because I mean, great. Even though you think Kiley and I are wrong, when it comes to Disney World, I just don't like Space Mountain at Disney World as much as I do in Disneyland.
Great.
And that's fine. But I'm just gonna tell you.
Don't act like you're all just, it's totally fine, because you are ready with an argument every single second that I say.
Yes, because as I was going through Disneyland, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a good episode because Kiley's gonna tell me how she loves it, and I hated it.
See, and I'm
Oh,
also super salty too because I don't remember if Space Mountain has it or if they ever had it, but they took the magic carpet away from the end of Space Mountain. You got to walk all of that now. The
Like the
The
moving
moving
floor.
sidewalk.
yeah,
The moving sidewalk. They have it in Disneyland, I think.
do they?
Or they have one on
Mm.
Pirates at Disneyland.
Mhm.
Maybe not Pirates. Haunted Mansion.
No, wait.
I don't know.
Wait.
I don't
Oh
know.
gosh.
It was a dark ride.
It was a dark
The
and
sidewalk
stormy night.
moves.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, that's my argument on Space Mountain. And because of your original argument from Space Mountain, I just want to talk about another one of the fabulous classics at Disneyland, Splash Mountain.
Mm.
Splash Mountain is the opposite of Space Mountain at Disneyland, where you're sitting single rider, like
Yep.
back to back person, just like you do at Disney World in Space Mountain, back to back. Okay, let me tell you.
Mhm.
You guys know this. Some people may have listened to the podcast and know this. I don't remember if I've talked about it. I love Splash Mountain. It is one of my favorite
know.
rides of all time. Okay, Zippity Doodah. I have a Zippity Doodah day every single day. And I know that might be controversial, but that's just one of them days that you can't open your mouth with a song coming right out. And that is something that I live by. Let me tell you, I have songs coming out of my mouth left and right. Okay, so Zippity Doodah, great. The rest of that movie, I never seen it. I don't know anything about it. I've heard some bad things, but specifically Zippity Doodah, fantastic. Disneyland, you get on Splash Mountain and you're like, wow, these seats are really wet. Like, that's kind of weird, but you're like, it's a wet ride. It happens. Whatever. You get on the ride. Oh, wait. Okay, you're right. The seats are wet at Disney World, but they're not this wet. Okay, just wait. I'm not there yet. For two reasons, I was with my friends and I was like, y'all, can I please sit in the front? And they're like, sure. And I'm like, yes. Number one, I don't want everyone else to get wet. Like, I'll take it. Number two, I want to be in the front so I can see everything. I want to know what's going on, when it's happening, all of it. So we get in the log, and here we go. We go off the little track into the water. That's what it is. It's a log.
Hop in the log.
We just got on Splash Mountain and logged in.
Good one.
Okay, so in Splash Mountain, there's like a couple of drops. There's not just like one. There's like four, I think. There's like the one big one at the end, but there's like a few drops.
Mhm.
So we're going around and it's like singing the song and you like meet Brer Rabbit and Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. And you're like going through it and you're like listening to it.
Nailed it.
And then you get
I'm
to the
gonna close
first
my eyes
drop. And you're like, here comes the first drop. We're going to get like a nice little splash, like refreshing water, whatever. You go down. I'm not joking when I say this. There was a tsunami tidal wave that came over the boat and I was soaked. It was like I jumped in the lake. It was like I jumped off of the ferry boat into Seven Seas Lagoon in my clothes. I was drenched. Okay. And this was the first drop. This was not even the big drop. Okay, and then you're like the rest of the ride, I'm screaming. I'm like, why am I so wet? What the heck is going on? This is insane. I should not be this wet. I love Splash Mountain. Okay, I love the refreshing water on my face. I love the this is like fun. You get a little wet, whatever. No, I took a bath when I got in this ride. It was ridiculous, but we're not done yet. That was just the first drop, my friends. That was just the first.
And that's like a
drop
6 foot drop.
Yeah, it's not even big. But when I tell you a tidal wave came over, I watched the water in slow motion. It was just like, and I'm soaked all the way through. So then you're like, keep going, and you're like, this is insane. Why am I so wet? And then all of a sudden you're heading down to the laughing place. Anyway, you're going down to the laughing place,
by the way.
Yeah, such a good place, right? You're ready to laugh. Well, I can't laugh because you go down into the laughing place, and not only is there water spraying everywhere, another tidal wave comes over the boat, and I'm soaked again. Then you just keep going. And you're like, oh, look, it's the tall hill. Oh, you see the birds and they're laughing and they're in like their death costumes or whatever.
Funeral attire.
Yeah, thank you. And you're like, okay, this is the last drop. It's just like make it fun, whatever. As I'm going down the hill, we like get up to the top and I'm like, first of all, the view at the top of this is not that pretty. Disney World, you're like, oh, the castle, the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. You're like, this is so pretty. Disneyland.
What are you talking about?
Hold on, Kylie. I'll let you give your chance.
Downtown Anaheim.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, is that the Hollywood side? No, maybe. I can't tell.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, you go down and you take a cute little picture, as you go down, you're like, then
you didn't set up for, I know you didn't set up for a picture on this one. You're waiting for tsunami number 3.
No. I didn't. I did not set up for a picture on this one. Wet. I was already soaking wet. I was truly worried that my phone was not going to work anymore after all of the amount of water that came onto me. Okay. We're going down. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, not because of the drop, but because I don't want to get wet again. So I'm going down. And at the very end, it's like a lot of water, just like in Disney World, you like go down and it like sprays in your face because like the immediate splash. Yeah. That wasn't the bad part. Once you start slowing down, for some reason,
it comes over the sides.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm soaked again. And like, it's not just like a little bit of water that comes over the sides like it does at Disney World. No. We're going to take a 30-gallon bucket of water and dump it on your head and just drenched. I got off that ride, and if I didn't buy a towel, I would not have made it through the rest of the night.
So your socks and underwear were soaked, obviously, right?
I mean, everything was wet.
Yeah.
All of it.
Now, necessarily, I got used to my socks and my shoes being wet on the DCP because I work through rain and whatnot. It's like rain doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I have to work. But when my underwear gets wet on like a park day, I'm just like, we have 25 minutes. I'm going to start chafing.
Yep.
And it's just not good. Like walking around like this the whole time, like.
You're like trying to like air out and like, nope. No,
game over.
And I forgot to mention this. This is during COVID, so I'm wearing a mask. I'm getting waterboarded because of the amount of water that is in this ride. Okay, my mask is full of water. When I got off that ride, I took off my mask and I wringed it out, and like, I mean, at least a gallon of water came out of my mask. My mask, people, just my mask. It was insane. So when I think of Splash Mountain at Disney World, I think of like a nice, refreshing, like cool off ride. It's like kind of warm at Disney World. You're hot.
It's a hit or miss.
Nice to just cool off. You're like, I need some water. Nice Splash Mountain. It smells so good.
Some nice Disneyland water.
Disneyland, it's the devil. You better make sure it's the last ride of the night that you ride, because if it's not, you're going to be chafed. You're going to be soaked. Did you bring an extra change of clothes? I hope so. Did you wear a poncho? Great. Doesn't matter. You're still soaked anyway.
Kylie, is it always that bad?
Okay. No. First off, why do I feel like you've rehearsed this story and have been waiting to tell someone about it?
Because he has a degree in broadcasting.
The detail. Wow.
Minor in campfire stories.
It's true. It's true.
Okay. Second, to get on a water ride, you have to expect that you're gonna get wet. Like,
no.
Signed yourself up for that, buddy.
No. I was expecting to get wet. I was not expecting to jump in the lake.
I was expecting a zippity doo dah.
All I'm saying is you put yourself in that position. I mean, you chose the front. You voluntarily sat in the front of it.
I did choose the front. Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
you're right.
You didn't know what was going to happen because
nope.
The setup is different.
Because regular Splash Mountain in Disney World is better, and you don't get wet.
Regular,
you do get wet, but not that wet.
I don't think that's regular Splash Mountain, but okay.
Okay, so wait, Kylie, before you continue that next point. If Splash Mountain in Disney World is not regular because the one in Disneyland was built first, then Space Mountain in Disneyland is not regular because the one in Disney World was built first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, that's why
I
it's more rough.
understand that, but it was built better. So that's all. Anyways,
I'm just
I
excited
think-
to get to the 2 rides that I want to talk about.
what rides are they?
So it's the Indiana Jones ride, and it's
Ugh.
Tower of Terror, R.I.P.
Okay.
I haven't been on Guardians yet. I heard it's okay. I heard it's good, but I liked that Tower of Terror way better.
You know,
Call me
we'll
crazy.
jump to that point. We'll jump to Tower of Terror and Mission Breakout because I have to
let's do
say,
it.
when they were first shutting down Tower of Terror in California Adventure, I was devastated. I signed a petition to bring it back. I was so mad.
Were they
They were
close with the
taking
petition
away.
or not at all?
No, I just signed it and then was too upset to even check back in on it. But they opened up Mission Breakout. I was hesitant, but I went on it. It is so fun. They have different drop sequences with every song that they play. They play 6 different songs, and they have like maybe one song has like 6 short drops, or one of them has like 3 long drops, 3 short drops, and it's just so fun. The songs are fun. They make it a more upbeat, happy ride versus like spooky ride like Tower of Terror.
We gonna die.
Exactly.
Yep.
So honestly, it's really fun, and the fact that you never know which drop sequence you're gonna get makes it even better, because then you hear the song playing and you're like, okay, we're gonna have a different drop sequence than last time because it's a different song. And you know, the graphics are really good in it. The characters are fun. The queue is really cool. You're in, what is that, guys? I don't know that movie very well, but
Rocket. You're talking about Rocket, the
Raccoon?
no, like
raccoon.
the
Yeah,
guy
thank you.
who has all of the things in glass. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
the collector? Is that
Yes,
his
the
name?
collector. Yeah, I just think that the queue is really clever, and you know, there's like the cute little dog when you walk in, and like they have the cool thing playing on the screen. It's entertaining. And then yeah, Rocket's talking to you in the pre-show. It's fun.
Yep.
It's a good time. I miss Tower of Terror, but I'm not mad that it's Mission Breakout now.
You guys both know this, and so I can't argue anything about this because I did not go on Guardians because I hate Tower of Terror, not because it's a bad ride, because I felt like I was going to die after I rode it the one time that I rode it on our DCP, because I told myself I was going to ride every single ride, and I did, but I only did it once because I hated it, and I didn't want to feel sick the rest of the day because we did that early in the morning, and so I didn't ride it, so I don't know anything about it.
Okay, fair enough.
But I will be happy to talk about Avengers Campus that's connected to it because
So the Avenger Campus is right next to it.
it's.
Yep.
I mean, Guardians is like part of the Avengers Campus. It's like where
Okay.
it started and then like built from there.
Good, because that was one of the questions I had. Because if it wasn't, that was going to be like Star Tours and Galaxy's Edge. So
Yeah, no, it's connected.
okay,
Yeah, it's connected. But while everyone else was, I actually have it right here. This is great. While everyone else was at Guardians, I went and got a drink at Pim's Test Kitchen, and I got this little beauty. It's
What
a
does it say
giant
on it?
soda can
Oh my gosh.
because it was blown up with a Pim particle. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was blown up by a Pim particle. Did I pay too much for this? Yes, I did.
how much was it?
$25. $25.
That's
What?
expected. That's expected.
Drink
price.
refills all day. Drink refills all
Okay.
day.
What? How many ounces is that? 48, 64? It doesn't look like 64.
I mean, according to the can, it's 12, but that's not true.
No way. Oh,
No.
because of
It's
decoration.
because it's a can that's like blown up. So it's
Yeah.
So did
it
you have to
held
pee
a
every
regular
5 minutes getting your money's worth for the drink?
what? Heck no. I was partying too hard.
I'll sweating it
Okay.
out.
I was at
I'll
Disneyland.
sweating it
I
out.
didn't have time to pee. Okay, I was at Disneyland.
You're right. You don't pee at Disneyland. There's no time.
It fit like a regular. I mean, like a regular. You could get like a cup, like a medium, whatever the regular size cup is, and put it inside of this.
Okay. So for the people watching, go ahead and peep them the inside. For the people listening, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Keep talking. It's gonna take me a second to open it.
Okay,
you can't just put me on the spot like that.
No, I got something. I will talk about Pim's Test Kitchen for a second. Their tater tots there are phenomenal. Oh my gosh, the best tater tots I had ever eaten in my entire life.
Do they have like specialty tater tots, or is it just regular plain Jane tater tot?
They have some kind of seasoning on them. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm not kidding. I went back there for every single meal just to have the tater tots. 10
Really?
out of 10. 12 out of 10. Like, so good.
Okay,
if
so
you go to Avengers Campus, you have to have them.
When you say tater tots, I automatically think of the tachos at Toy Story Land. Did you guys ever have those?
Okay. Yeah, I actually did.
I'd say that's 32 ounces with no ice. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
$5 for unlimited
if you're watching on
refills
YouTube, you can
all
see
day.
this. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. But yeah, they actually gave me a cup with it that was like, they're like, you just want to fill it up, because I guess some people buy this as like a souvenir, so like they don't want to put liquid in it. But I put liquid in and just rinse it out, and it's fine. So here we are. Okay. Also, you can take the Pim particle out and you can just like throw it at things, and like hopefully it gets bigger. Pretty cool, huh?
You throw it at my arm right here.
Yeah, hold on.
Gray's not gonna have any friends because he's just gonna nail them in the face with his Pim particle.
I just want to see if they get bigger.
Oh,
right.
man.
So back to the tachos. What were you saying, Kylie?
I have had tachos and I've had the Pim tots. They're both really good. I think I'm more of like a plain food person, and the tachos have a lot loaded on there. So I think those are more filling because there's more to them. But I mean, personally, I like the Pim tots a lot better. I just thought the flavor was so good and just so different than all the other tater tots that I usually have like at Disney.
And that's okay. So that's the thing is like, does Disneyland and Disney World have a lot different food?
Yes.
Or do they?
Well, okay. I say yes, but I feel like it's the same food themed differently.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say
like one of my favorite things was, I saw it on TikTok before we went, and I was like, we have to try this. The Cozy Cone Motel in Cars Land is like the quick service location. And
so
we got the bread cone filled with mac and cheese. And we got like the spicy mac and cheese or whatever. And it was really good. But at the same time, to me, it's probably the same like recipe for mac and cheese you can get somewhere else. But to me, it was super fun because it was in a bread cone. So I was like,
at the Cozy Cone.
At the Cozy Cone. So, but like, I'm sure it's like probably like the same like type of thing. It's just like, I'm sure the recipes are similar.
So Sam, I'm just starting to think that we might have to have another episode, maybe 2 more episodes just on comparisons.
Like this episode's pretty long. I mean, we could keep talking this all day.
Yeah.
Wait, okay,
yeah.
Can we transition to my favorite Disney ride of all time is one that I think is better at Disneyland than Disney World. So I really want to talk about that one. Are you guys okay with
Before we
that?
do that, Kylie, you'll have that next, but I do just want to say one thing about Avengers Campus before we leave.
Okay. Yep.
If you have not ridden it yet, very cool. Web Slingers, I think, is very, very cool. It is the same thing as like Toy Story Mania or Buzz Lightyear or whatever, but you use your hands. Which
really?
Is so cool.
It's
like there's
insane.
no it tracks your hands, which is the coolest thing ever.
Okay, but it's so funny because you look around and people are just pew, 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 like their arms are just flying. It's so funny to watch.
It is really funny. It is really funny to watch.
But are they expert level though? Like, are they crossing their hands? Because I'd be in there just like, I'd be like,
Jeff would be like upside down, like in a Spider-Man squat doing
I saw a thing on TikTok that said if you just put your palms up, that you actually do better because it reads your palms better.
Just more like surface area.
Yeah, if you just do like this. But I mean, I don't know. I think the technology is really cool. I think the ride is really cool. The storyline of it, I think the whole thing is really cool.
The accuracy of shooting with your hand impressed me so much. Like it was going exactly where my hand was, which is so cool. Like I was not expecting it. I thought it was just gonna kind of go in the direction, oh, you hit one, but like literally right where I was pointing, it shot a web out.
I didn't
And
even
like
know
there's
that
so
they
many
had this.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
so many
it's
spiders like
crazy.
on the screen, and it's like the one you're aiming at is the one that like gets shot. Like it's really really cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
The only thing that I will say negative about Avengers Campus, I love Avengers Campus. I love all of it. I love the live shows that they do. I love the food. The rides are great.
So say you love
The only thing
Marvel.
is, yeah, I am a big Marvel person. The only thing is, it just seems like a really big hodgepodge of things. Like, we need to name something that we can just put 30 different characters in. Avengers Campus.
That's true.
That's
Like,
It
how the
is,
movies are, though. It's like, we need to name something. We need to
Well-
name this something and just throw 30 superheroes in it.
That's so true. It's very character concentrated because they have a whole building where they put like 5 characters up there at once and they just walk around and wave at people and they're like,
Yeah,
oh my
that's
gosh,
true.
I'm seeing all these characters. So yeah, no, I agree
Yeah.
that it's a lot of like visual and like interaction with the characters versus rides
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So is that cooler than the walkarounds than in Galaxy's Edge with the stormtroopers, Chewie and Rey?
Ooh.
Okay, this is hard to say for 2 reasons. So number 1 is COVID.
True.
Mhm.
So like the walk around isn't as much as it used to be. Number 2 is you see the characters from afar, which I don't like. I'd rather like meet the characters, but I did meet Iron Man. I did meet Spider-Man like close up, face to face. But like I saw Black Widow, I saw Black Panther, I saw Ant-Man and Captain America from like far away. But part of the cool part to me is they're just like, hi everybody, they're like waving, and then all of a sudden Taskmaster comes out and then they're like killing him. They're like doing this like stage fighting, which I think is really cool. Just to like see that happen in like real life. Whatever. I watched the show twice. So.
And how is the Spidey? How is like Spidey swinging with that new technology?
Oh my gosh, that was so
Oh,
cool. They
so
shoot
cool.
that animatronic through the air so high, and you're just like
It's really
in
cool.
awe as he's flying through the air. It
Yeah,
looks so
it's really
real.
cool.
Okay, I was about to say because I
think
remember
that makes it so much better.
I was going to say I remember
Yeah.
seeing that being tested. I want to say in like late 2018.
You can also
so
see
cool.
they have like a whole thing about it on Disney Plus. I think there's like a whole thing
Hmm.
about it that like talks about the robot or whatever. So, and Avengers Campus, a couple other things, but very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, because that's some
Um,
serious stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm. Agreed.
See, and the thing that I don't understand either is they can have that fly up in the air super high. Probably it looks like 6, 7, maybe 8 stories high. If that robot messes up or if something's miscalculated on the left side or the right side, it can go into the crowd, right?
There's a big distance between
Yeah.
like the crowd and where it is. And the landing area for it's like a giant net. It's not like it lands in the exact same spot every time. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like a
It's
big
like backstage.
there's like a
Yeah.
big-
Because my
It's
big
not-
thing,
yeah.
yes, because my big thing is they can do something like that. But yet, Kylie, you remember this with the drones that they flew over Galaxy's Edge for opening day?
Mhm.
For I don't think it was opening day for Galaxy's Edge. Maybe it was for
Rise.
it might have been for Rise. I don't remember if it was for opening day Galaxy's Edge or for opening of Rise. But remember when they had the X-wing drones that they flew over?
Mhm.
Yeah. So why like they only did that for the opening event and then they just got rid of them? Like why could they not have drones fly over like
That's
every
true, yeah.
like 2 or 3 times a day? Because you have
Yeah.
the sounds where the spaceships. It's like why can't you have the X-wing drones do that and add a little bit more of like a visual aspect to it? Because it's the same size as like a Tahoe, but when it's up in the air like that, your perception of size changes.
Mhm.
So it makes me curious why they can do that with a robot where it can very rarely miscalculate. I get that, but I just don't understand why they can't do that with the drone, but they can do that with the Spider-Man thing. I don't know.
That's true. That would be cool if they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Hmm. Anyways, okay, are we ready to move on to mine?
We're ready, Kylie. Give
I've
it
been
to
waiting.
us.
This is the main event. I've been waiting all night. Okay, my all-time favorite Disney ride is Haunted Mansion in Disneyland with the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay.
Oh,
They put an
no.
overlay on it during Halloween and Christmas time.
Kylie, I thought you were my friend.
They did. Okay, no,
Oh.
they don't put that overlay on the one in Disney World, and that is like the biggest bummer. That is iconic.
You're right.
And they took that
You're
out of
right,
Disney
yeah.
World completely. What
They
the
did.
heck?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Ray,
So
you
here's
so
the
disagree with
thing.
this.
So here's the thing. So there's two types of people in this world. And I'm not like, this is serious. I've worked at Disney World. I worked at the Disney store. Like there's two types of people in the world. There are people that are madly in love with Nightmare Before Christmas. Like they will live and die for this movie. It's the best movie in all of the world. And then there are people that think it's a terrible movie and have nothing to do with it. And I'm on the side of the people that do not care about this movie. I think it's a terrible movie. But
is it a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie?
Okay, who knows? It's a way for Disney to get money during both events in one movie.
It's a way to show Tim Burton's creepiness.
Okay. I personally do not.
I need to invalidate your argument really quick because I have never been a huge Nightmare Before Christmas person, but I absolutely love the overlay. So I don't think there's a correlation.
You're right. I wasn't done. And I wasn't going to say that there is a correlation. And that's why I didn't want you to interrupt me.
Sounded like it, but it's fine.
She's
going to smack you through the camera.
Bet. Challenge accepted. Come over here. If she does, I'm going to grab her hand and pull her here because I haven't seen her in so long. Anyway, so the overlay I think is really cool. I think it gives it something different. I also think it's kind of pointless. The storyline behind Haunted Mansion doesn't make as much sense. You like go in the stretching room and they like have all, you know, all the wonderful stuff at Disneyland and they like the room stretches and it's like, oh no. And you see the pictures on the wall and you're like hoping it's going to be like some like funny thing. No, it's just like a giant snake or something on the wall. Like it's not, I don't know. I don't like Nightmare. I don't think it's worth it to cover up Haunted Mansion because I think Haunted Mansion by itself is an incredible ride. And I don't think it's worth it to cover it up for 4 months of the year to like talk about Nightmare. Because also in Disneyland, they had like Jack and Sally were both like out there like waving at the people and everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's Jack and Sally. Jack, look at me. And I didn't even take a picture of them. I was like, meh. But here's the other part of that. Again, I say there are two types of people in the world. People that love Nightmare, people that don't care about Nightmare. And I personally think that if you like Nightmare and you really want to see those things, you're going to go to Disneyland. But I think the amount of people that go to Disney World and they only get a chance to go to Disney World one time want to see the classic like Haunted Mansion. And that's why they don't do the overlay is because more people are going to Disney World because it's a bigger park. And people are like getting less of a chance to go there because like we said earlier, Disneyland is a locals park. They'll go in February and see something different than what they'll see in October. Like people go there all the time. Disney World, you get one chance to go in your entire life. If you go and they've changed something, you don't get to see the classic ride, then it's like you feel like you've missed something.
Well, I also like when one park holds something different in comparison to the other. Like, you know, back to Galaxy's Edge, it drives me nuts that it's the same freaking thing. It's like, why couldn't you do two different planets? It could have had, you know, relatively the same layout, but you could have made one look so different. So it's like when it comes to Haunted Mansion, Nightmare Before Christmas, it's an okay movie. It's an okay movie. I'll give it that. But I don't think it deserves retheming a ride. So, Kylie, you disappointed me on this one.
No, it's so fun. I think that the overlay that they do on it is amazing. Like, you know, sometimes during like Jingle Cruise, that's dumb. That is
I don't like
dumb.
the Jingle Cruise. I'm sorry, Gray.
Amy, are you kidding me?
Gray's gonna hate both of us for that, but
on a gorilla and call it a Jingle Cruise.
That's hilarious. What kind of gorilla wears a Santa hat?
You think that's entertainment, but you don't think the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay on the entire ride
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I enjoyed the nightmare overlay. I thought it was cool to see Haunted Mansion decorated for Christmas. I thought that was cool. I do not like Nightmare. I've seen it once, maybe 100 years ago. I'm not really sure what the story is, to be completely honest. As you're going through the Haunted Mansion, in Disney World, in Disneyland, in Tokyo, Paris, whatever, wherever you are, I would love to see the Haunted Mansion decorated for Christmas. I would love to see a wreath on the wall. I would love to see like whatever. I don't get the point of an entire overlay. Like, I don't think the entire overlay is needed. I think you can just decorate it for Christmas. Like Madame Leota's head floating in California, Nightmare, it turns into a Christmas ornament. I think that's funny. I think that's cool. It's not just a ball now. It's like a Christmas ornament that has like things on either side of it. That's cool. Why not just make that at Disney World and it's like Christmas time, but it's the exact same ride? Like, it's just decorated for Christmas.
If you're gonna do a holiday overlay, you have to go all out, and they do. The outside of the Haunted Mansion, when they do the Nightmare overlay, is insane. They have the huge list of Sandy Claus naughty and nice list. You know, they have.
You're right. Yep.
It's called the Ghostly Music Box soundtrack. You can find it on Spotify, and it's like this like spooky, twinkling like music box sound. Oh my gosh, I get goosebumps every time. And then the inside, you know, in every single room, it's just decked out. The gingerbread smell, unmatched. So good. Like, they just have so many aspects to it that if you're really into holidays, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go to Disneyland during the holidays because they're going to have this extravagant overlay. You don't want to go there expecting them to have decorations and Madame Leota the Christmas ornament, and that's it. Like, oh, cool.
No. There's
wow.
That was just an example. You can do more to it. I'm just saying, I don't think you need the entire storyline. I think you can just redecorate. Just like everyone does at their homes, they redecorate their house for Christmas. Like, hello.
I was just say, all I remember is just Boogie Oogie at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. When he's doing like the spinning wheel thing. See, that's fun. Like,
that's all I remember.
But you remember it because it's memorable. Unlike Leota as a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, I don't remember Leota. And Madame Leota is my favorite character of the Haunted Mansion.
Well, yikes, you are not paying attention very much then.
Yeah. 10 years does a lot.
All I'm saying is that is my all-time favorite ride. I have amazing memories of going there during Halloween time and getting to ride the Nightmare or the Haunted Mansion with the Nightmare overlay.
Well,
and I will argue that until I die. So I don't even care what you say, Gray.
It's okay. It's totally okay, because there is something that I know you're going to agree with me on, and I'm excited for this. Because my absolute favorite part of the entire park at Disneyland and California Adventure was Cars Land and Radiator Springs. That place, beautiful, so well themed, so well done. We already talked about the cozy cone, we already talked about the mac and cheese, but one thing that we didn't discuss is how Radiator Springs Racers is a 10,000 times better version of Test Track.
1000% agree.
Oh yeah,
it's way better.
With Cars Land, I love that ride.
Yep, the views are beautiful. The music is amazing. And so if you look at the old Test Track, like the original Test Track, there's a lot more comparison. Like, you can see kind of similarities in it. But the theming to the Cars movies, like, it's just so good. The details in that ride, incredible. We only rode it one time because the line is always crazy for it. We rope dropped it. We waited 25 minutes. It was fantastic.
You waited 25 minutes to ride that ride and you think that's crazy? I waited for 4.
No.
Oh,
I don't think it's crazy. Why?
Because it was brand new. Like, when I was a junior, when I went.
Oh no, so we rope dropped it, so it like immediately went from 0 to like an hour long ride. But we went there, we rope dropped it because I was like, this is the first thing we got to do, or we're not gonna have
Radiator
time to do
Springs.
It. Like, we're doing it, yeehaw. And while my friends were also doing Galaxy's Edge, because it's not Galaxy's Edge, what am I talking about? Avengers Campus, Guardians of the Galaxy. While they were doing that, I had some extra time. I also did the tractor spin thing, which I loved for no reason at all.
cute.
It's the exact same ride as Alien Saucer Spin at Toy Story Land and Hollywood Studios in Florida. But it was so fun for no reason at all. And as everyone knows, I love Slinky Dog. I love the safety talk of Slinky Dog because it's in English and Spanish, but both in a country accent. They do it again in Cars Land, and Tow Mater is out here talking to you in Spanish, and it's hilarious. And it's amazing. So it's so good. We also did, I don't know what it's called, the like dancing cars thing ride. I thought that was a lot of fun too.
It's called Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters. That is so fun. The songs that they play, you just get hyped. Like they're absolute bangers.
So good.
So good.
Agreed.
Oh, I totally agree.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
agreed.
Overall,
100%.
Also, pro tip for Radiator Springs racers, for people listening, if you ever go there, ride the single rider or go in the single rider line to get on the ride. You will walk on in like 5 minutes. Like if you don't care about sitting with the people that you're with, do a single rider line.
If you don't have any friends, just like go there.
Just go. Just ride it over and over. You get on it 80 times in one day. But yeah, overall, I absolutely adore Cars Land. I think that is a solid argument for like why Disneyland is better. I'm just saying.
I mean,
that
let's see. Cars Land is like the same
highlight.
size.
Yeah,
like Cars Land,
it's a
highlight. Cars Land is like the same size as Toy Story Land. So it's like I don't know that like, oh, we have Toy Story Land, you should come to our park. Like, we have Cars Land. I don't know if that's like I don't know if I'd go on a full vacation just for Cars Land, but like it is really good. I'll give it to you. It is really good.
Question.
Answer, Daily Double.
With our DCP living there 6 months and everything like that, would you have rather had Cars Land or Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios? If you had to pick,
Cars Land. 100%.
I think I'd have to go Cars Land.
Love Slinky Dog.
Great. How about we put Slinky Dog in Cars Land and just call it good?
If you put a car on top of Slinky Dog and it's just like, it's, you know what it is? It's Cars 3 when they're doing like the training thing and like
the simulator.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. If you just put that car on top of the ride of Slinky Dog, Cars Land 100%. Because it's better themed. You feel like you are in Radiator Springs. In Toy Story Land, you're like, oh, we're at a theme park.
It's so hot.
Yeah, you're at a theme park that they're trying to make you feel like a toy.
Yep.
In Cars Land, you're like, if I was a car, I would drive here. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
And Toy Story Land has no shade, dude. Like no big leaves or blades of grass. Like
so
I don't remember
hot.
Sweating super bad at Cars Land. It was way more comfortable as well.
Okay, it's also more like humid in Florida, so like
very true. Yeah,
it's kind of rough, but
true.
Like,
Not same location by any means.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about the other ride that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Indiana
Go for
Jones.
it.
Did you go on it, Gray?
I did go on Indiana Jones, and I'm ready for this one.
You're a huge fan of the show.
Oh man,
you were actually in the show.
Okay.
I was there. I witnessed.
Huge fan of the Indiana Jones show at Hollywood Studios in Florida.
I need you to send me that clip. That way I can put it in right now.
All the videos.
That was a fantastic video, Jeff. Wow, I'm so glad we just watched that. I love the Indiana Jones show for 2 reasons. Number 1, I was the star. Number 2, just like looking at it and where like you could be the star, it just like makes it so fun. And then they trick you. They're like, and you're gonna like, this girl, she was pulled out of the audience, and all of a sudden she's like doing flips and stuff, and she's like the stunt woman, and you're like, wow, she's amazing. And then they're like, tricked ya. It's like so good. It's just like so good. It's so good. The show is so good.
What about the ride though?
Fantastic question. I would love to tell you that I love the ride. I don't. And here's why. Wait for it. Kylie Barber.
Ray, I thought you were my friend.
I know. I've already been scolded for this.
I'm
When I
in
posted on
shock.
Instagram, one of my friends from California not texted, but commented on my photo and was like, "Did you love Indiana Jones?" And I was like, no. And she was like, "Great, we're not friends anymore." Anyway, here's why I don't think it's a great ride. First of all, let's just like give a little backstory. So it's the same ride system as Dinosaur in Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Fantastic. We stan Dinosaur.
Let's go.
No.
Get that dino, dude.
No.
We
Dinosaur
stan
is
Dinoland.
terrible.
Dino's okay.
Okay. If Dinosaur is terrible, then Indiana Jones is the trash can on fire.
No, the bad part about Dinosaur is the theming. The ride, the cars are fun.
You're right.
And that's why
You're
Indiana
right.
Jones
You
is
can
better because
see
Indiana Jones theming is 10 out of 10.
You're right.
So good.
You're right. Indiana Jones theming, especially the queue line, which is where it all begins,
Yep.
reminds me of Pandora.
Yeah, that's true.
Like going through the queue line for Flight of Passage, if you like walk through the regular queue, it reminds me very much of Indiana, or like I went to Pandora first, so Indiana Jones reminds me of Pandora, but like here we are. The ride you get on, first of all, I will say we had a fast pass because there was a ride that broke down that we were on, so we got an extra fast pass and it was like a 90-minute wait. And we're like,
are they staying with fast pass? Or did they do Genie Plus?
Fast pass for now. We'll see.
Okay.
But we had a fast pass, so we went and did Indiana Jones. And we got on the ride and I was very excited for it. We got all strapped in, pulling the yellow tab, all the fun stuff. And we're off to the races. And my expectations were high because so many people say that they love this ride. And I think that was part of the problem, is that my expectations were high.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've been off-roading before in a Jeep. I've been off-roading. I've driven fast through the woods. There is no way you are driving on unused terrain, whatever, that you are jerking like this the whole time. You're just like blah, 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 back and forth. There is no way that is real life.
Great. Have you ever been off-roading in a temple? Because I don't think you can compare it unless you've been off-roading in the temple of the Forbidden Eye in real life.
Okay. Okay.
I'm with Kylie.
I heard that.
Hey.
Heard that. I still don't think that I should be jerked around as much as I was. I just don't think. I could not physically sit and enjoy the ride and like look at everything around me and like, oh, this is a fun story. I couldn't get into it because I was like, my knees were hurting. My neck was hurting because I was being jerked around back and forth so much. The only part of the ride that I remember is when you're going, I don't even know where you are. You're like going across somewhere and you can see another Jeep in front of you that goes way up in the air. You can see that happen. And then you go on the bridge and then the same thing happens to you. First of all, that kind of ruined it for me because I saw it happen and I was like, oh, here we go. Woo. But like, that's the only part I remember from that ride. The whole like ball thing, like where you're like running away from the ball and then you go under it. That's the exact same ending to Dinosaur. Kind of expected it.
Very true.
But the theming.
Theming is better than Dinosaur. Is it a good ride?
Is it more rough than Dinosaur?
Yes.
No.
1,000%. Yes.
Gray, don't even. You are just being a little too dramatic for me right now.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm just telling. I personally feel like it's more rough. Like I couldn't enjoy the ride. I've only ridden it once. I haven't been to Disneyland a million times. I've only ridden it once. I did not enjoy the ride, personally. Also, our friend AJ that everyone loves, he feels the same way about this ride.
Okay. You're
you
using
guys
AJ
like the
as your
show
source
more.
of information.
That's the tea.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I will say the show is really good. Like
especially when Gray's in it.
Especially when my boy Gray is the main character.
My boy Gray screaming.
But I like them both. I love them both. I can't really compare them. I can't say one's better than the other.
Yeah, it's two different things. One's a ride, one's a show. You can't compare them.
Yeah.
I'm just not huge on shows though.
then you would
Well,
like
then
the
get
ride
out. You're
better.
talking to the
Oh, I love
the dang Frozen show stands here, okay? Like we love the
Oh,
shows.
But okay, the Frozen show makes sense though, because the Frozen show is way better than the Frozen ride.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
Agreed.
true.
Yeah.
We
Like,
love
this-
the Frozen show.
Yeah, the Frozen
True.
show just makes sense.
You know what else makes sense? The Lion King.
Oh my! Don't even get me started on the Lion King. Worst Disney movie of all time. I'm just putting it out there.
Whoa, okay, that kind of
Thank you for listening to this podcast. We're not going to end it because Kylie can no longer say her opinions.
Yeah.
Have a magical day. Are you kidding me? The worst Disney movie of all time?
We can talk about that another time, but I also will stand firm in.
that's a
my
pretty
belief
that's
that
a pretty
that is the worst
strong
Disney
statement, to be honest.
That's a
'cause-
very strong accusation. The Lion King is one of Disney's most like grossing films of all time.
okay, so if
movie.
I dare ask, what is the number one Disney movie?
Tangled all the way. Oh, you both of you? Oh my gosh! I got the eye roll at the same time.
Tangled is okay. It not my favorite princess. Belle's the best.
I mean, not my favorite prince, but like, I mean, it's a good movie. You can't say it's better than Lion King. This is not what this podcast is about. This is a different podcast. We're back at Disneyland.
yeah, we'll get to Disney movies eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, those were definitely the two rides that I wanted to talk about. I remember Indiana Jones ride, and I was just like, man, Disney World doesn't have this. What is wrong with Disney World? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have anything on the side of Indiana Jones ride where you can hear like, okay, you remember when we went wheelchair wrangling?
Mhm.
You remember walking by Indiana Jones and you had that rope and it was like, do not tug on rope, but like not was crossed out, and you like tug on it.
Mhm.
You know how he was like, hello up there, blah, 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 blah. Like, do they have that at Disneyland?
Yeah, it's in the queue. There's like that almost exact thing. There's a rope that you can pull on, and there's like a guy yelling from in a well. And there's also, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have this bamboo stick that you could shake it, and it looked like the roof was like coming downward onto you. Like there were spikes in the roof that were about to trap you in there. So the queue is pretty interactive, or at least.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you mentioned the queue. I forgot to say something. There's a part of the queue line that there's a video playing, and it's like them telling you the backstory of the ride, and like you can put all your treasures in the basket and make sure you buckle your seatbelt. It's gonna be a rough ride.
Yep.
That video is way too short.
Okay,
We had a fast pass, and we went through that room, and the video played about 150,000 times.
hold on. I know why it felt like that. They changed it for COVID. It used to be longer. There was a whole other segment that was like background information on the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. But I noticed that when I went a couple months ago too, they cut it to like just one certain section that's like 10 seconds long, and they kept replaying it.
It's so short.
It's not usually like that. I totally understand where you're coming from though.
I was like, this is insane. Why are they playing this over? I understand where to put my
It's
ears,
bad.
okay? Like, hush.
Oh my God,
no,
guys,
that's
speaking
the
of
reasoning.
cues and videos, this just came to mind.
Mhm.
How's my boy Patrick at Disneyland?
Let me tell you. Your boy Patrick is the exact same in Disneyland as he is in Florida.
He just says California, doesn't he?
No. Did he make me cry? No.
What?
Did it make me listen? As we were getting on that ride, we were like, oh, is this going to be the exact same ride? Oh, probably. We're going to be mad about this. I went to Disney World for the first time when it was soaring over California, right when the ride like first opened or whatever, right before they changed it. I was hoping and praying that Disneyland would have soaring over California, because that makes sense, because you're in California. No, it's the exact same ride, except at the end you fly over Disneyland Castle rather than the Epcot Ball, rather than Spaceship Earth.
Oh,
But, like,
really?
It's the exact same ride. I was so disappointed.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
When did they change that?
I don't know.
It was a long time ago. It's been like that for a while. but
I was like
disappointing.
going through and I was like, oh look, there's the hidden Mickey and the hot air balloons. Oh no, here comes the bird. Oh, it smells like Flight of Passage. Like,
I'm not gonna
it's
lie. Every
exact same
time the
ride.
airplane comes up, it kind of scares me. Which is very loud, very fast.
It is really, yeah.
That's true. I'm so true.
But yeah, we went on. That was one of the rides I wanted to ask about or talk about. Soarin'. It just really disappointed me that it was the exact same ride.
Yeah, I wish that they would have, made it a special or kept it the special California version.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what can you do?
So Soarin' in Disney World is better. Do you guys still have the pins I gave you?
Of course.
It's on my pin board right there.
Yeah, and I also
Mine's
noticed
in my car.
I also noticed, Gray, you are the number one guy this episode right now because I have a picture of you and Kiley has a picture of you. I don't see myself anywhere in there, Kiley. So thank you.
A queen.
Yes. You're in my heart forever.
You'll be
Great. And that's better than a picture.
Yes,
Oh my
you'll
God.
be in my heart. It's okay, Jeff. The only reason Callie has that photo is because I gave it to her. So don't worry.
Yeah,
she didn't
give
print
me
it
a
out or
picture and I'll
anything.
put it on my wall.
You have like 200 of them in your phone.
You're right.
So
You're
I
right.
do want to talk about another ride that I have to say I'm very disappointed about at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I just want to hear.
Okay, what is
I
it?
went on the Jungle Cruise because I have heard that the Jungle Cruise is good. It's better. It's amazing. And I think we might have just had a bad skipper. And it was like one of the last things we did. It was kind of late at night.
Yeah.
It was
Skipper makes a
textbook
difference.
Jungle Cruise, absolutely nothing exciting. Oh, it's the 8th wonder of the world, the backside of water. Oh, you can take as many pictures as you want because they have their trunks on. Oh, it goes on for miles and miles and miles. She didn't even act like she was she didn't even act like she was turning the boat. She didn't even act like she was scared for anything. She didn't even look at us the whole time. She just looked straight. Right. And I was like, this is awful.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
that ride, okay, regardless which park you're in for that ride, a large portion of how much you enjoy it depends on your skipper. So I will say
I was about to say the best time to go on Jungle Cruise, anybody listening, it's park opening
Christmas.
or around 2 or 3 o'clock in the middle of the day, because that is
when they
when
switch.
people are fresh.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
When you hit them up at 8 p.m. and they're just backside of water. It's because they've said backside of water 50 times already.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I feel like if I was the skipper, and I've never been the skipper, so I don't know, but I just feel like I would make it more enjoyable. But that's also my personality, and I've always wanted to be a skipper person. I think it'd be so much fun. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just and I'm gonna say this for the cast members overall at Disneyland, they seemed less happy to be there. I know. That sounds weird.
Now you're just stretching a little bit.
No. I'm so serious. I never once, and I told AJ the whole time we were there, I was like, it better happen to me. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, when it happens, I'll tell you. And he was like, is it something I'm supposed to do? I was like, nope. It's something that Disney does every single day. They're supposed to do it. And it hasn't happened yet. And it needs to happen to me today. We were there from 7 a.m. until 11 o'clock at night. Not one person, not even a guest that was there with me, not a cast member, no one. I talked to a ton of people that day. Not one of them told me to have a magical day. Not one of them told me to have a happy day. We're at the happiest place on earth. You tell me to have a happy day? No. They're like, have a good one. Bye. In a normal conversation. I'm sorry. I'm at Disney World. You can spice it up a little bit.
Did you
give me some pixie dust? Okay,
before we head out, great. Did you tell every single guest though, have a magical day?
The guest that I talked to?
Yeah. Did you say it every time?
Do you mean while I was working?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Yeah. I don't know how busy Boardwalk was, but with wheelchairs, ECVs, and strollers hitting my shins, I was just like, you guys have a good one. Thank you for coming and seeing us. Take it easy, guys.
But it's the same thing.
It was it's the same thing.
Interaction.
No,
it's the same thing though. You're just like, have a magical day. You're awesome. Have a magical day. Hey, you have a magical day. Just like the same thing. You just like say it over and over again.
Right?
Also, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kylie.
I could not tell someone to have a magical day when they're coming into my store asking me where the Scooby-Doo section is. I will not tell them to have a magical day. That is ridiculous. Know your info before you show up to Disney World. Go to Universal for something like that. Are you kidding me?
Have a psychedelic day.
God,
I was more likely to say have a magical day when they did something stupid.
Yeah.
No,
well, it kind of.
relate.
I had to laugh one time because I was at Crossroads and they were just like, Harry Potter section, point me in the direction. Like they were so confident. And
no way.
20 minutes.
You get on I-4.
I was like, have a magical day.
Oh, so bad.
But no, I think this is a pretty good episode. I know Kylie had to be somewhere pretty soon. So I think we're going to have to definitely have a part 2.
Oh, we got to have a part 2. I got to talk about the Incredicoaster. I got to talk about so many other things.
Oh, man, so we got it ready to go.
We definitely have a lot more. And
I
think it's best to do part 2 as well because we've been at it for almost, well, if not an hour and a half. So
love to hear it.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
So if people can't pee while they listen to us, they probably need a potty break. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys aren't following us yet on the Goofy Scoop on Instagram, please do so. It's free. Why would you not do it? It's cool. It's awesome content, whatever. You don't have to see my ugly face. It's just Disney stuff. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Kylie is going to be on here more. She enjoyed it. I know she was nervous. Are you still nervous, Kylie, or does it feel more normal
now?
No,
it feels good now. And thank you guys so much for having me. I love just chatting with you guys about this stuff.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun. I enjoy it.
I can't wait until next time when I get to tell Kylie even more how she's wrong. Until
I am coming with pages and pages of notes to just absolutely destroy you. So be ready.
I did not even get to my biggest point yet. So we really do need to plan another episode.
Part 2, Kylie's gonna be like
page 37 of my notes.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.
See you guys real soon.